Hello everyone, welcome to the Longling Show. Today we have one guest who has come on my show even last time. I think he's been the only one from the government side who doesn't hesitate to come and talk about the government policy and the policy that he has been pushing in the department. I mean, he's taking care of the department, and he's Mr. or Shri Yhome, Honorable Advisor for Department of School Education and the State Council of Research, Education and Research Training, Nagaland. So it's really nice that people from the government, especially in the ruling government, come and talk to us for the sake of accountability and transparency. I think this is a good habit that we should adopt and we should carry on even in the future. And I'm so happy that he comes and openly talks about what is going on in his department. And there are many allegations in terms of the policies that have been getting implemented this time. And also there have been a lot of oppositions to what they're trying to implement. I think I want to understand that better, and that is all about the teacher rationalization in the school, in the Department of School Education. And there are more than 20,000 teachers here in the state of Nagaland, and these are all going to be rationalized. And I think the process has already begun. So they already announced this on 6th of February, and they announced again on 10th of February, and that has attracted a lot of opposition from students' union like the All Students Union, the Double Students Union, the Double Area Students Union, and a few other students' union, because they don't like the idea of getting this reshuffle of teachers without, they say, a proper consultation and proper management. So thank you, sir, for joining me in this conversation.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that you have really made an effort to come forward and talk to us again. So can you explain to me what is this rationalization of teachers?
Rationalization here implies that we have teachers who have been posted all over Nagaland. In some schools, we have surplus teachers who are serving them there permanently. So rationalization, technically, it's a very simple affair. We pull out the surplus teachers and put teachers where there are no teachers for many years also, for that matter. So our data in 2023, we found that out of our 1,930 schools, we realized that in 157 schools, there are absolutely no students, nil enrollment.
Zero students?
Zero students. Wow. So we realized that we need to have two parameters. One is we have teachers, and there are sanctioned teacher posts for primary teachers, 6+1. There should be 7 teachers for a primary unit, which is our smallest unit. There are teachers, but there are no students. So those we had decided to close it. But for those schools which do not have teachers and which do not have students, we had to give a fair opportunity for the villagers to put their children again. There are no students because there are no teachers. So we are doing the right fair thing, and I think the whole exercise about rationalization is putting the sanctioned number of teachers for every schools which we have put across all over Nagaland.
I think, but students' unions, they had served ultimatum to your department, but your department still insisted that it should go on. The process of this rationalization should go on. And what is the status so far now from your side?
Right now, you see, it's a very bad timing for everybody.
Yeah.
From our department side, also, we realized that it is bad timing because the school has just started in the month of February. Ideally, we wanted it to do it in the last part of every year. So by the first week of December, teachers should know where they are going next year. So that, because our teachers, they run their family, many of them are taking care of their aging parents, and to relocate them, we cannot expect them to move as they like. So you need physical as well as mental preparation to set your new posting. So we have been trying that, but you see, a lot of public pressures are there, in and outs, so we could come out only in January. And this is bad timing because right now, during that time when the orders came out, 23,271 of our matriculates are appearing exams. So we do not want these orders because to affect the ongoing exams, you see. So we decided to put in abeyance. The cabinet has already taken a decision, and we are here not to oppose the public. The public, they are expressing their grievances, and now we have categorized why there are grievances. Some are genuine, some are not genuine, some are very flimsy, and some does not have what do we call. So one thing which I've been appealing to all our students' union, especially different public organizations, is we are open to public. Our job is open to public. Our grievances are there to hear the public. There is no need to communicate or there is no need to put ultimatums across the media over the newspapers. We are here to serve everybody, and we have been telling our legislator friends also. We have been telling our village council leaders also. You demand teachers. Okay. You said give us the right teachers. We have students, and that is what we want to do, and that is what we have been doing. So the abeyance, you see, already we put 1,650 teachers in the process of this rationalization. It's a huge exercise involving around 8% of our our teachers. So out of these, 1,073 are outrightly reposted because there are excess teachers. 1,073. Out of these 1,650, 1,073 are purely out of access. The requests we are getting from legislators, we have entertained some, and 223 are basically catering to the legislators' requests, and 76 plus 2, that is from public requests. So 78 requests were from the public, from all sectors of public life. Then during our SLEC last year, we downgraded, we closed down schools, we amalgamated schools. So technically we closed down 120 schools last year because effectively there are no students. So out of that we were able to pull out 218 teachers who basically does not have any more work. So we put them in the neighborhood where there are no teachers. Then out of this we also reassign 58 math and science teachers. We realized that some math science teachers were posted in primary schools. Their service is not required. We have shortage of math and science teachers. So we are putting them where they are required. So out of this 1,650, we compartmentalize all this, and we know exactly whom we are touching. The issue here is, why are people complaining? Number one, there are 3 teachers, and out of this we need to pull out 1 and put them in another school. So it so happened that we are pulling out the most sincerest one from this particular school. So villagers, naturally, they are a little bit unhappy because we are pulling out the most sincere person. So you see, it's like the Russian roulette. You see, we do not want it to be. So the process of consultation, we are doing it under no circumstances. We have been going against the public. We are working in the interest of the public, but given the Naga situation, every tribe, every individual, they have their own whims and fancies. Some are totally out of touch with the ground realities. So we use this process, and this process is good for us because we are learning so many things also.
Okay, but I want to know, you mentioned this process. So is it just a process from the department side, or because when I read RTE, Right to Education Act of 2009, whenever there is a requirement for rationalization of teachers, there has to be like a strong community consultation plus participatory process is strongly encouraged in the act.
Right.
So I just want to know whether the department did that beforehand, or it was just a reshuffle kind of thing from the department at the top level and just announced. Because as far as I understand, the students' community, unions and all, from the letters, I think they like the idea, they welcome the idea, just that the process, they have problem with the process. As far as I understand their letters and announcements and so on. So what do you want to comment on that?
See, we have now a public grievances kind of cell. We compile all the whatever requests which are coming from all walks of life, right to the village unit. So this we compile, we put it on our dashboard, and for us, we review all this one by one. So when we say that we need to consult the public on a larger scale, perhaps holding that kind of a darbar may be technically impossible because we do not have the resources. Plus, it will become like a fish market. But definitely we are, through their legislators, through all the public civil society groups which are showing, and I must appreciate a lot of civil society organizations, even my legislator colleagues, many of them are putting their efforts in studying their constituency, their schools. So these, there are leaderships at different levels, and this aligning together of two leaderships, it's very helpful for us. We wish that can happen for all the rest of the state, and it's not a very difficult what do we call process, because for example, the student unions, they are the most active, whether they are in the NSF or whether they are aligned with the Eastern Nagaland Students Group Union. They come from different tribes. From tribes, they have different ranges. From ranges, they reach till the village unit. So without any much ado, like traveling to every village, through the social media, through all these what do we call smartphones, you can easily upload data, and there can be a very cohesive coordination. So I just wish, and this is what I initially did when I had a consultative meeting with the students' body. They pick up a wrong issue, blow mountains out of that molehill. But my idea was to keep in touch with them so that we get the best support, and ideally speaking, they are the best platform to raise students' issue, and then they consult their villages, and they consult their public leaders, and we do things collectively together. So definitely we are in constellation with the RTE also.
I see. I'm sure everyone will have the same thought, because this is a great step. This is everyone has, I'm sure, has the same goal, because everyone wants proper rationalization of teachers for every schools. Like you have mentioned, excess of schools should be transferred into other schools which don't have children, teachers and all. But I want to understand, what methodology did you use for reshuffling this, so that we all can understand better how it was decided, the process from your side. This teacher should be transferred out to this district, urban area, the ratio between urban areas. How did you manage that?
It is not proper for me, but let me tell you through this platform, because you have a very good outreach also. Now I'm beginning to understand a pattern of who actually is requesting for a transfer. And when we say transfer, there are very exceptional cases where from Dimapur or Kohima, somebody wants to be transferred back to their village because they want to take care of their aging parents. So one or two cases, but the majority of them wants to come down to Kohima or Dimapur. And as I mentioned, the total number of recognized villages in Nagaland, we have 1,336. We have 70 plus unrecognized villages. We have 100 plus what do we call hamlets where people are living, and so our schools are just scattered, and there are some villages, unrecognized ones also recognized, where we do not even have a school. So if you look at the pattern of how schools are being dispersed, we already have an idea. Using our officers, we had already categorized all our schools into linguistic area schools. For example, in Kohima, there is one small primary school just below Rezekria Primary School. We cannot call that as an Angami exclusive school, because it's in the urban area, it caters to all tribes. But in the village, no other tribes will come there. So like that, we had already categorized all our school into what we call linguistic schools. The Sumi community, for example, they are large in number also. 2001 census, they are about 13.9% of the state's population, and they have 385 linguistic schools, which is about 20% of the 125 schools which we had prior to the 120 schools which we closed down. So likewise, the our community, their population is about 14% of the state's population in 2001 census. They have 168 schools which can be categorized as exclusively our linguistic area
that's
schools.
also before closing down, right?
So likewise, the Konyak are also a huge number. These are the three biggest, I'm mentioning them, 13.3 of the state's population. They have 223 Konyak exclusive schools. So we are looking at all those. So when we put primary teachers, They are not language teachers, no doubt, but we usually put teachers who are from that linguistic area. And as per government standing policy, all primary teachers are supposed to be serving in their linguistic areas. Right. For example, if you look at Siminyu now, it's a new district. Okay. There are not enough Rangma teachers. We need to do more recruitment. So those people who are posted in Dimapur, in Kohima, especially primary teachers, we had pulled all of them and put them in their linguistic area because that is per government standing order. So if you look at the number of schools and the number of population and the number of villages, you see there is a whole lot to do with rationality, but definitely some villages are big. Some villages which are big like to open new villages also. So you have the old and the new village. So you see there is a whole range of dynamics here, and I'm not going to comment here, but we need to cater to all this thing. One thing which I can tell you very clearly is we have so many schools. Are our schools actually meeting the requirements of our population? That is one big question. Already we are receiving that there are more than 20 schools. We had already put teachers. And there are already more than 20 schools, and we are in the end of February. There are no students. The community, they have tried to bring students, but so we will have no choice but to bring them back and put where there are students. So, as I said, the rationalization process is we are just fielding teachers where there are students. And where there are population, we are trying to address all this by putting teachers. In many schools, unfortunately, there has been one teacher school, two teacher schools. You say two teachers cannot be teaching the whole school. Right. So we are doing the we are doing the right thing just now. So our rationalization project is all about that.
So the disparity of the population of the tribe or the district, plus the disparity of the number of teachers for number of schools. So I think it's quite shocking. I think, are you working on let's say, let me put it bluntly, tribe-wise also, are you looking at it at this moment?
For primary teachers, we need tribe-wise request. Okay. See, it's all requisition are all based on tribes, because the idea that linguistic area. So primary teacher has to be linguistic area based. So we had already profiled all our teachers based on that. We had profiled our schools also, and this we know it cannot be static. For example, it is a phenomenon which is there all over the world. Human migration. People are abandoning their village and coming to towns and cities. I just want to mention about this case of one village in Pek area called Rozazu. It's a big village. They have, or as I have been informed, they have 746 households. So actually they can comfortably even have a high school if the children all decide to stay back, but instead they go to another place, a place called Chazuba, which is more like a semi-urban area, and what do we call renting places there, putting more burden on their household, and they are sending their children to government schools again. They will have stayed back in their village and cultivate, nourish their own government school. So, you see, a lot of all these things are also to do with what do we call ignorance of the people, plus also because the public has very little faith in our government school system now, because it is not just this year. For 8-9 years, we have not put teachers. And why are there no teachers? Because through political connections, through pressure, they are all staying in what do we call urban areas. So we are just doing the right thing by sending all these people back
to the village.
Yes, that's what exactly we're doing. And there is resistance because we had already received more than 600 applications saying that this teacher or this teacher should not be taken from here to there, you see, already.
Out of like 1,650,
yes,
you have received more than 600.
Yes, about 700 had joined.
Okay.
Now we are receiving about, so the cabinet has been gracious to be patient with us. We have given this month of March to do the exercise. So when we say we have kept in abeyance, also taken into account the ongoing HSLC and HSLC exams, plus also this exercise, it's a massive one, but it's not a very difficult thing from our end, because we know we are doing the right thing, and our officers, we are also doing the right thing. Yeah,
I'm sure exceptionally there will be some, on humanitarian ground, there will be some exceptional cases as well. So how are you going to look into those? Because I mean, not everyone will, of course, out of more than 700 applicants, not everyone will have a genuine concern, genuine problem and issues. Like you said, some needs to go back to village because they have an ailing mother, ailing grandfather or grandparents. For that matter, it's understandable, but are you going to make it exceptional for those cases, for example? Or are you going to just plainly say there's no exceptional cases, everyone should obey and get transferred to wherever they have been located?
It is my job to defend my teachers. It is my job to articulate how my teachers suffer. Because we are sending them to villages which simply do not have even a place for them to sleep. And this is also technically the failure of us, but we are literally sending them to a war zone where without any defense mechanism. Then also a huge population of teachers. Many of them are teachers, you see. Many of them are undergoing severe medical treatments. Many of them will never be able to go back to their workplace. So it is our job to understand, and of course, we receive all these genuine issues also. Recently, over this rationalization process, I clearly remember this Kensa village. There were 33 teachers posted there, and we have 65 students there. And we have 3 undergraduate Hindi teachers posted there also. So we moved one of them to another village, and that person happens to be from Kensa. So I said, you go and discuss with your colleague, and your colleague will understand your difficulties, because these are genuine cases. He wants to stay back in his own village, number one, because he's catering to the needs of his aging parents. So he said, why don't you let my other colleagues? So I said, you resolve it within yourself. For at the government level, we'll be most happy to cater to all these requests. We have a teacher in Atibung Higher Secondary School. She is a postgraduate teacher. Unfortunately, she has been afflicted with a sickness where she can no longer technically speak anymore. And for teachers, we need to be standing in front of the classroom. Absolutely. So she goes to her school, but technically she cannot enter the classroom. So we are afflicted with this kind of personal issues, and we need to understand all these issues. So it is our major concern that we take care of our teachers. Everybody at one period or the other, they undergo a lot of tremendous stress. I have cases where, and I really feel sorry, teachers come into my house and crying literally. Because they come with such pain and they come with such hope. So our job is to understand how our teachers are placed. We need to personalize our connections. You see, we need to understand each other's case as genuine, non-genuine, some are flimsy. So this is what exactly we are trying to do. And so as I said, in Kensa, there is one teacher who has a kidney case, and he's requesting that why cannot I be posted here, because I need to be. So we need to understand many of these cases, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah, that means the idea of not entertaining those who just don't want simply for the sake of going to a rural area, I mean, they will not be entertained for sure. But for genuine cases, the department is looking into this.
Definitely.
I think that's a one beautiful way of looking at this problem. And now you mentioned about, due to of course some political connection, there is an amalgamation of teachers in the urban areas. In the rural area, they're living and they're slowly phasing out. But can also people assume that you are doing this maybe for other political pressure as well, or how do you want to justify that? Some people can be thinking there must be some political reason also why you're doing this. I mean, your department, in other words.
As far as we are concerned, we take the request of our legislators also very seriously. It is not like some or many of our legislators are saying, oh, remove this. You see, they also get all these pressures from the public. And as you know, teachers are the most literate people, and they are in the village, and they work along with our village council, with our village elders also. There is a close, relationship. And our teachers definitely are involved in politics. And politicians also use teachers for their politics. If you look at the booth level officers, BLOs, 98.3% of our teachers are BLOs. So definitely the BLOs have a big say in who should be registered as an electorate, as a voter. So a lot of all these dynamics. So our request is the teacher's job is to serve the public. It's a noble profession. That selflessness has to continue. And so definitely we are not interested in that. We say our job is to put our schools where it is required, and whether you are in the rural or in the urban area, you have every right to get the best teachers right at your doorstep. And this is what the government is doing, and that is our job. Yeah.
And you mentioned, there are some more than 100 or almost 200 students, already closed down because there are 0 students there.
Right.
But I just wonder, as someone, who tries to understand it, what were they doing then before they get closed down? Like, they're just throwing their salary without doing even...
Yes. 43 school teachers in one school with 0 enrollment for so many years.
43 teachers?
Yes. I won't mention the place or the name of the school, you see. But they're just staying there for years, doing nothing. So we are just redistributing all these teachers where they are required. It's a simple thing. See, this year marks very important because this year will be the census year. Then by next year around this time, the provisional census data will come out. I'll just take the example, and I'm not particularly pointing against one particular tribe or a district, but look at Longland district. In 1991, the census was about 67,000 population. Then in 2001, which is after 10 years, it shot up to about 1.21 lakh population. Then again in 2011, which is they came down to 50,000. So if you compare with 1991, it was 67,000. In 2011, it came down to 50. So from after 20 years, instead of growing, they lost about 71,000 population. So all these dynamics of dishonesty, we can pinpoint exactly which village is being dishonest, because census are an amalgamation of various units. So if you look at Longlang, Kifiri, Peren district together, in 2001 their census was 3.13 lakh population. Then 10 years later, it came down to these 3 districts combined, came down to 2.19 lakh population. So in 10 years, there was a minus of almost 1 lakh population. So why are they inflating their figures? They're inflating their figures because Longlang also got a district, Kifiri also got a district, Peren also got a district. Fine, we got our districts now, we should stop cheating. So they just start putting the genuine numbers. And so we have from these 3 districts, after 10 years, 1 lakh population we could minus. So you see, a lot of factors are involved in all these things. But for us, we will put teachers where there are children. We need to put, whether there are 3-4 children, we will put teachers. Say in my own district, let me be very blunt here, there is a village called Sihama village. I'm in close touch with the teachers because I'm looking at their enrollment. This year the village, they assure that they will get 3 students. They still cannot find. So the teachers have no job. We have posted the full strength teachers.
I see.
All right.
So the teachers also have been phased out, or they're still there?
So now we have no choice but to pull them out. If the villagers have nobody to put in their school, what will we do with our students there, with our teachers there? So as I said, there are already about 20 schools. We are getting reports, 0 enrollment. Our teachers are just sitting in the village. They go in the morning, take that Smile app attendance, come back, go in the evening, take that Smile app. So they are just bored now.
I see. I think as far as I understand from what you narrate, I think you are cleaning up the system, which has been rotten for so long. And
perhaps, yeah.
Yeah, I think we don't have to blame this person or that person. But I think when you do that, normally you will always face this opposition and the backlash. How are you handling that right now? Or are you going to reach that, the ultimate goal that you are planning to, in terms of transformation of the department in school education? And are your colleagues, the cabinet, supportive of you so far? Because you can be pulled out of this department anytime soon when they face that, when they feel that there are already opposition from their constituents. How are you assessing that at this moment?
We are technically here as a public service department. India is a welfare state. It is our job to provide welfare to every nook and corner. The kind of support I'm getting from senior legislators, especially some of my senior ministers, it is very heartwarming. They are all saying that the Department of School Education should be given free hand so that we take the ultimate revolutionary step. If you don't do this, we are just adding for a rotten system. It's already rotten. I'm not blaming anybody amongst our predecessors. You look at our schools. I'll be very blunt. I'm a very blunt person.
Yeah, of course.
My village is a big village. They call it as the biggest village in Asia. We have 4 KELs. And all our KELs, they have GMS, primary schools. Every KEL wants to have, what do we call, so no doubt, they got what they want. But there are students there because we are a semi-urban area.
Yep.
You look at a big village like Tangki. They have 5. They used to have 5 primary schools because there are 5 KELs. So small villages, they want a school for themselves. Big villages, every KEL wants to have their own this thing. Okay. So I do not know whether, but I remember this very clear. When all these LPG gas connections were coming into Nagaland very aggressively, people will serve tea to each other, okay? Itu tu gas para banai shide, and they will give it to people. What does it matter whether it's made from firewood or from gas? But the fact that they have a gas connection at home, they want to take great pride and say, this is made from gas. I see. You see? So it became a huge pride that, oh, my village also has a primary school. My village also has a government school. It became a matter of pride. They had forgotten why that school was actually established. They had forgotten the utility of that school, why it was established in their village. So if you look at the school systems, especially government school systems in Nagaland, we can categorize it into 2. Schools which were established because of politics, or which were added because of politics, because till the late 1970s, schools, it was so difficult to get. You go from this village to another village to study there. Now nobody wants to go to anybody's village to study. So this is the thing. So we are saying that through politicization, so many schools are open here and there. So we are looking at all those pre-1979 schools, because the land acquired for all those schools, it was generously donated by the community, by individuals. So they have what we call a proper land. Now, if you look at many of our government schools, like the pan dukans, in the corner, you see, I can mention some few in Sefezu, in Kohima. It's like a pan dukan. You go to what we call Naga Bazaar, by the roadside, it's like a pan dukan. You see, just a building, what do we call, so many of the schools, you see, both in urban area as well as in rural areas also, you see, very stingily, Jaborjasti, the schools was established. No compound also, just,
makes sense. Makes sense. And when it comes to the need and convenience of teachers and students, which one would you prioritize? Like, you know, what the rationalization of teachers is for the convenience of students. So the teachers will be inconvenienced in a way. So when it comes to both are your staffs, or both are your assets. So how are you going to prioritize these two when there is a conflict between these two?
The teachers, we are working out a system, but definitely it's already been conceptualized. We are at the preliminary stage. The teachers, especially graduate teachers, they have to serve all over Nagaland, urban area, rural area, any district, it does not matter. The other primary teachers, as I said, they have to remain within their linguistic area, so they have to hop between what do we call their linguistic area schools. So what we will do is we will segregate their career into, let us say, like the Nagaland Civil Service. They serve in one particular place, go here and there, so they have to rotate. So that will become a compulsory thing later on. We will give the teachers their preference of their posting also. So if we are going to post them 3 times or 4 times, let us say in a career of 35 years, they serve 8 years here, another 8 years here. So that's how they spend their career meaningfully also. But we will also give them opportunity where they want to be posted. So it will be what do we call something which we will not attempt to be harsh. The moment you enter the Nagaland Education Service, should be prepared to serve anywhere, and there should be no complaint about it. You see,
like civil servants, right?
Yes, but all pampered, very pampered, and it's not right to be drawing your salary without going to school throughout the year.
Absolutely.
So I think that's not right, because the younger generation, I'm very proud of them. They do not want to draw their salary without working. So we should not spread this cancerous thing and spoil an entire generation.
But after the announcement of transfer and allocation of places and location and so on, if you realize that the teachers, they're not going to that place,
Yes.
and then what are you going to do? Because some are not definitely going.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is the following step for that?
We have already taken the necessary office memorandums where we can deduct their salary. So all this will be monitored now on a daily basis through the Smile app.
Smile app, right?
So we are not interested in deducting their salary also. But once you start deducting their salary, we will issue them show cause notice. They will get every right to explain why they are not staying or serving at the place where they are posted. Then due government procedures will follow, and then we will ultimately, if necessary, have to suspend them and to the point of terminating them from their service. This is what we are prepared for.
How efficient is the Smile app as of now?
The Smile app,
reliable?
I closely follow with the software development. There were some glitches, hitches. We are right now putting a geofencing of 25 meters. So it's
From
one
the
of
school
the
campus,
best.
right?
Yes, it's one of the best in the world. The moment we are able to see or show results through this will be a phenomenal thing. Government of Nagaland, we are on the right thing. We are handling with a project which will bring a lot of governance, what do we call, efficiency, especially for geographically challenged areas like ours. So I can say that it's one of the best in the world.
Yeah, but you know that Nagaland also, there in the most rural areas, there are no electricity and so on. So will that Smile app still work? I mean,
we are putting a real-time stamping system into it. So I know many places where, and we had already geomapped all these areas where there are no internet connection. So as soon as they come to what do we call internet connected, maybe after 2 weeks, after maybe 1 month, it will all be uploaded with real time. So that issue does not matter.
I think assessing all that you have shared, I personally feel that it's such a revolutionary step that you are taking, and I think it's not going to be easy. I mean, the process will be easy, but tackling all these problems, the system, like I said, you're just cleaning up the system, and it's not going to be easy. Are you getting enough support, like let alone just the legislators, but from the community or from people, from the public as a whole? And what gives you that courage to take this very drastic step?
I will not like to particularize any particular tribe here, but now I'm beginning to understand a pattern, even amongst tribes. Who lobbies for? You see, because I have a list of all the 60 legislators, including me. How many requests they are putting? It's on my dashboard. So I can specifically say, oh, this particular legislator, his people are demanding this much. So he has put in this request. So likewise, I've put all this. So definitely, many of our legislator friends now, they're beginning to understand also. It's our job also. I explain to them very nicely also. Then they tell their community, their public also, that these are the reasons why all this, you see, people in the village, they may not know how government system works. So they may be asking for the impossible also. Things like that. You see, so many of our teachers are deputed elsewhere. And they had already served their tenure also. So we have stopped issuing NOCs for these teachers. You see, teachers who are there in another department for 9, 20, 25 years, we are bringing all of them back because they have been appointed as teachers. So definitely I'm getting a lot of resistance also, but I have the support of my Honorable Chief Minister also. I have the support of my government's cabinet also. We are all vested. I'm not doing this for myself. The department is not glory hunting to clean up the system. We are all here collectively to help improve delivery systems, build state capabilities so that the public trust the government, because the government is there with its resources to provide what it needs to be done.
I think, like you understand the pattern, I'm also feeling that the voters normally in our context may sometimes remember the inconvenience that your policy and actions might have caused. And sometimes that can backlash, that can backfire the current government as well. So I want to understand, how much liberty is given to you as an advisor for this department from the Honorable CM?
My decisions are all based on consultation with the department.
Okay.
We take field reports. We get our own reports from here and there where we feel that it may be biased. I must say that we have officers who are posted here and there. Some of them are sincere. Some of their inputs are a little bit slow, but we are integrating all these things. And the decisions, we put it up for government approval. You see, all these decisions are being put up for government's approval. So we have been technically doing things properly. I'm here as the advisor for school education to our Honorable Chief Minister, who is also Minister in charge. So we follow the due process of consultation, government approval. All these things are done in place.
I think the last question, I think, what really motivated you to do this, to go through this process? Had you been just like the previous terms or the past minister or advisors, I'm not comparing also, but looking at how it used to be, it would have been much easier for you to just be in the system and be part of it and do nothing much. Now you are doing this, like taking up a very drastic policy action that can hurt people, and it has hurt people. And you might end up creating enmities with civil societies or some section of people. And I think the opposition from people is also real. It sometimes keeps us awake and gives us that sleepless night. So, what really motivated you?
Not many people have that tolerance level also. I'm not a diplomat. Let me mention very clearly about this case of Tobu Area Students Union.
Right.
We have a higher secondary school in Tobu, which is doing very well. We're getting lots of students from the neighborhood also. Then the Tobu Area Students Union, they had given their building as lecture room because there is no sufficient lecture halls for our school. And I asked the Tobu Area Students Union, how come your Students Union office is just next to what do we call our school? Did you by any chance encroach on our land and you have built your school? And I've been telling them, why do you suffer here with lack of classrooms? Because just nearby, we had already built the best buildings in Nagaland, which you will see are in the eastern areas. 48 rooms, RCC. And next to that is a women's hostel, all free for 100 girl student. They're refusing to go there. It has become a cowshed.
I see.
RCC structure, right there. And they're complaining. And they're communicating to me through newspaper. So I paperclip that and keep it in my register. So things like this. So for us, we will do what is right. We're not afraid. If this is the right thing, if the villagers does not understand, we will explain to them. Like Zavame Student Council, they came down. There are 3 schools in Zavame village.
That's from PAC, right?
Yes, in PAC.
Okay.
So they said, you had closed down 1 school through amalgamation. Now we have only 2. Sir, kindly let us have 3 schools. Then we discuss at length. And we discuss, and they realize that instead of having 3 schools, it will be better to have only 1 school. You see, now they are beginning to understand. And instead of their villagers building their school, they are going backward by going to another place called Razeba.
I see.
Can you understand? So instead of building their school, which is at the center of other Chakasan villages and building it as a center where the possibility of even having a high school or a higher secondary school is there. They are going, I can say, backward. So after a long discussion, they realized, so there are things which are good for the public, and that is what we do. We have been elected, and we are not here to oppose what the public wants. Our job is to cater to the needs of the public, but where the public is unreasonable or is misinformed, we will discuss with them. If they want to do the impossible thing, like you have, let us say, 9-10 students, and yet you want to retain all the 30 teachers there, that how can we agree? So likewise, what I feel is we are here to serve the public, whether you are from a big or small village, whether you are from this or that tribe, everybody deserves the same. I am very passionate about what I'm doing. I have a set of officers who are equally, and they guide me at all levels. As an English-speaking Nagas, today we have introduced Japanese. The Japanese want us to go and work in their country. Very good exposure. The Northeastern Christian University, they are going to open a Korean course. So our people, English-speaking people, we deserve a better life. And only education, apart from religion, can set us free, can liberate us free. So whether you are from the village or from the urban area, you deserve the best. And amongst the Northeast, as a very politically right and politically what do you call sharp people, our people, our children, they deserve better than this. You see, we cannot afford to go backward. You see, today what I see is that the private sector is also contributing a lot, and they are totally misguided, many of them, especially those church-based schools. Mission schools were there during the Americans. Free, everything is free. To promote, to also spread education, the church bodies, they started free schools called mission schools. Today, so many wannabe churches are opening up schools. Their job is to preach the word of God, put people in the right place. They want to open schools, and they go to the church and they harass the what do you call church members because they cannot pay the salary of the teachers. They need new building. They harass the see, all these things are happening, and their schools are neither growing, but their schools are also encroaching into our what do we call government schools. And it is not. It's not a mission school. It's a private what do we call with motive for profit. That's why they have established all this. So our people's perception also needs to change. We are having so many participants who wants to educate our children. Too many, problem of too many. So we make the numbers efficient. There may be 3-4 children in one village. We will do our best to take our school right to their doorstep also. We are prepared for that. So last year I went up to Mokchung to have a consultative meeting with the Mokchung Public Organization. We will be focusing a lot in Mokchung this year because we are hungry for success stories. We want our school systems to work again. Last September, I took all my officers, we went to New Zealand, we went to Australia to study their educational system. 80% of all the schools are government schools, free education, and they are the best in the world. Globally, they are the best schools in the world, and they are all government schools. 80% of their schools are government schools, given free education. For us, we are given free education, but they think that free is too expensive. So they sell their forests, they mortgage their properties, and they send their children to private schools. So let us improve our rural, our household economy by rebuilding our schools, and for that I really appreciate your medium also because you have lots of viewers, you have lots of young people who are motivated, who understands all these issues. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think those were very insightful, and I'm sure people who are watching this will understand. And you're welcome with all the disagreements in the comment section.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Thank you
Thank
so
you so much. We'll talk again, sir.
Thank you so much.